William Shakespeare play was Henry VIII. It's rodeo time deep in the heart of Texas, and that means a sky-high fireworks show. Within limits, because this show is going on inside the Houston Astrodome. So how will Fane Morris's crew rig this pyro show when there's a ceiling to contend with?
It's quite challenging to rig in that building because of that great dome that they've got on the top of it, and there's really no place to drop or hang the pyrotechnics.
The Astrodome ceiling is just one of today's challenges. There's also a dilemma of a different colour.
You're dealing with horses who are inherently afraid of fire and smoke.
Because of the horses, ground launching is out. And in the other direction, most of the Astrodome ceiling is too high to get to. So point man Jeffrey Marsh wires up the dome's lighting truss.
In the dome for this show, we're using about 450 devices. They're scattered throughout this inner truss, the outer truss, and devices hung in the ceiling.
But launching things from above creates other problems. All of those devices still need to be wired to the control board back on the ground.
To hit all these positions in this arena, I have close to 45,000 feet of cable, almost 8 miles of wiring involved to go back to a single point where this show is fired from.
Directional spark projectors, known as GERBs, play a big role in indoor shows. They help fill the limited airspace with colour.
This is a 1/4 by 35 GERB. It shoots 1/4 second, 35 feet, and I have them on a down position and also an up position around this truss. And just directly below it, I have a flame projector. It's our standard red flame projector that we use in an indoor arena.
Now that the truss is locked and loaded, it's raised back to the roof.
So Dale, we just completed the status check. How do we look?
We're ready for show, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Horses and riders make their entrance and cue the fireworks. Days of hard work pay off as the sky catches fire indoors. It's time to check out 3 of the largest fireworks shows on Earth. Thunder over Louisville is the annual fireworks extravaganza that kicks off the Kentucky Derby week. Thunder attracts up to 500,000 people, making it the largest annual show in America. It's the calling card of the world-famous Zambelli Fireworks International. They use almost 16 tons of explosives. No wonder it's called Thunder. And what annual pyro party attracts the biggest fireworks crowds in North America? Toronto's Festival of Fire. It's a multi-night event where countries around the world compete for top honours. Lake Ontario provides the setting. The shells are launched from barges on the lake as nearly 2 million firework fans look on in amazement. In Valencia, Spain, the centuries-old Fies Festival is a 2-week-long pyromaniac's dream. There's even action during the day. This ear-splitting barrage called the Mascleta is the loudest show on Earth. starts at 2 p.m. each day in order to rouse people out of their post-lunch stupor so the party can start again. Up next, how Disney pulls off the most magical fireworks shows on Earth. But first, a question. How many shells were launched during the Statue of Liberty's 100th anniversary in 1986? The answer to our question? 22,000. "365 nights a year at each of its parks around the world, Disney puts on one of the greatest fireworks shows on the planet. Their shows actually tell a story in the sky, like this current Disney World show called Wishes.
The Wishes show is designed to tell a story about dreams come true, and there's a lot of different characters in the show.
Fireworks, narration and music combine to weave the magical tale each night. But how do you get characters into a fireworks show? Disney engineers devised a way to have the fireworks explode into specific shapes. You'll see everything from stars to hearts.
You'll even see a Mickey Mouse. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do you guys get a Mickey Mouse in the sky? It's simple. We just use 3 different shells. We do 1 large shell, and then we do 2 smaller shells on top of that, and that's how we get the Mickey Mouse.
To make other shapes work, the stars have to be packed within the shells in just the right pattern.
Of course, the challenge is getting them in the right position in the shell and getting the shell to break open in just the right form so that we see that pattern in the sky.
But it doesn't matter if the pattern is right if the shape bursts upside down. What's the solution?
What they do is they weight the shells when the manufacturer makes them for us, so that in a heart you have to have the bottom of the apex at the bottom and the round part at the top.
Disney also uses the element of surprise by firing certain shells from a greater distance so the crowd won't hear them being launched.
Some of the lines are "When you wish upon a star," and we have a shell that looks like a shooting star that comes across the sky.
It's perfectly silent, and all of a sudden it lights in the sky in perfect syncopation with the music. And so that totally surprises them, and that is something that no one else does.
It takes a lot of effort by man and machine to tell a great story in the sky. And how do they know if they're getting things right?
Definitely one of the best parts about the show is being right next to the crowd here. There are moments in the show that are just designed to take your breath away and get reaction, and when you really hear it from the crowd on nights, it makes it all worthwhile.
The grand finale is definitely one of those moments. If you don't react to the big ending of this story, you may want to see if you still have a pulse. So what's the holy grail of the fireworks business? Smokeless fireworks. Because a smoky show isn't only a problem indoors, it can spoil outdoor starbursts too.
Perfect firework is one that produces intense colors with great clarity and without any smoke.
Explosives chemist Dr. Darren Nord is working to clear the air in his New Mexico lab.
Our strategy for developing our types of indoor fireworks is to develop brighter colors without creating a lot of smoke. We use things like nitrocellulose. When that burns, it burns very cleanly.
Nitrocellulose has been in use for over 100 years. It's the propellant that gives bullets their deadly kick. But having a burn rate as fast as a speeding bullet causes problems in the fireworks business.
Blue line rocket. But it burns at one speed, and that speed can be pretty quick. So if you try to make a large device with only nitrocellulose, it tends to just blow up.
Dr. Nord has slowed nitrocellulose's burn rate by adding various chemicals. So does this new formula do the job? This traditional black powder firework spews both flame and smoke. This nitrocellulose version burns cleaner, but there's still a trace of smoke. Dr. Nord's quest continues. So if you remember that the ingredients for the best fireworks shows are hard work, high tech, and great music, then you really are in the know.
Why can't sharks stop moving? Will we ever transplant a human brain? What makes us hot or cold-blooded?